Hey everyone, so in today's video we're going to be talking about characterization. Now with characterization, this is the way an author develops or reveals the character's personality. Now it doesn't have to be the main character, it can be any character's personality in the story. And we reveal our character's personality through two specific ways. We have direct and we have indirect, and we'll talk about those in a second. But before we talk about direct versus indirect, I just want you to think about a character right here. Describe one of your favorite characters. Just describe it. Just tell me about one of your favorite characters from a movie, video game, book, TV show, okay? And then we're going to move into one other thing before we get into direct versus indirect. And that's just kind of getting to know the characters. And the most important thing when it comes to getting to know the characters is this thing right here that's called motivation. And the reason why motivation is so important is because motivation are the impulses, emotions, or desires that cause them to act in a certain way. Without this motivation, they don't do anything in the story. They need to be motivated to do something. Once they are motivated, that is when they will take action. These are the outcome of their motives, right? So for example, I am motivated by hunger to go find food. I am motivated by greed to go find money. I am motivated by desire to go, boredom. I said by boredom to go find something fun, okay? So those are your actions. And then once you are going to do something, like once you are finding food, then that is an action. It is driven by the motivation, it is driven by the conflict, but now you're actually completing an action. And then the other thing to get to know the characters is they do this thing called the dialogue. And this is a conversation between two or more characters. And this is almost always shown. There are authors that don't do this, but this is almost always shown by or with quotation marks. These little guys, right? And then lastly, conflict is the big problem in the story that affects the character's motives, actions, and dialogue. So without conflict, there is not motivation, and without motivation, there is not action. I hope that kind of makes sense. So like one thing leads to another. So you have motivation that makes your character go do something, but the character is usually motivated by that conflict. Okay, so that is my daughter. If you can hear her, she is in a space this morning. She's killing it. So our first type of characterization is very, very easy. This is when the narrator or another character tells us what a character is like. That's it. This character's fat. This character's stupid. This character's ugly. This character's smart. This character's wonderful. Well, wonderful is not the best. Well, nice. Okay, I directly tell you. There is no room for interpretation. I am telling you what a character is like. That is it. I am telling you exactly what a character is like. So that's the easiest one. So, for example, Squidward is grumpy. There's no room for interpretation. I have directly told you what Squidward is like. He is grumpy. He's a grump. Okay. Now, our other type is where, most of the authors work in this realm, because reading a story where all I do all the time is tell you that a character is grumpy or a character is annoying or a character is funny, that has its place. Sometimes it has, like, oh my God, Squidward, you're so grumpy. Like that has its place. But then there's other times where you have to indirectly characterize, and the indirect characterization is the much more interesting type. So there are two definitions here for indirect characterization. There should have been a 2. That's on me. So our first one here is this requires the reader to look for clues that reveal a character's traits. And traits are just another word for like words that describe you. Like, what are you like? Are you athletic? Are you strong? Are you brave? Are you interesting? Okay. And it's known by the acronym STEAL. Okay. Now there are 5 types of STEAL. We're going to go into those 5 types of STEAL in the next video. We're going to stop with this video on just these 5 types, but we want to get them written down. And then on this other side over here, we're going to write the 5 types out. So our 5 types are speech. You hopefully can figure out that one. I guess what that's going to be about. Thoughts, effects on others, actions, and our last one here is looks. So you should have described your favorite character here, right? Joel from The Last of Us is resourceful. He always finds a way to survive a awful situation. And then what is the difference between direct and indirect characterization? You have to write that one. You have to write that one out, okay? So that's it for this first video. We're going to move into our second video where we go into the 5 types of steel, and then we're going to talk about two types of characters, and then that'll be it for our notes. Thanks for watching, everyone.